Before we move on, we have some bad news. I have once again been snubbed for Australian of the Year. But it turns out the person who did receive the honour really deserves it. In 2013, AFL great Neale Daniher was diagnosed with motor neuron disease, which has no cure. Since then, he's raised over $115 million for MND research. FightMND sells iconic beanies along with socks, pins and caps. It's on players' heads and campaigns like this.
Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. Being named Australian of the Year isn't about what I've done, it's about us and what we do next.
Every step forward is a victory.
For those looking for hope.
The loss and pain of yesterday is fuel for our fight tomorrow.
Because this fight is relentless, but so are we.
Together we can rewrite the future, this fight against MND.
Big Freeze 11. It's time to live it forward.
This week, the MCG hosted the Big Freeze, an event where celebrities slide into a pool of ice water and tragically emerge unscathed. Over the years, they've had all the big names.
Here he is, Russel Howcroft. 3, 2, 1, and he is away as bare-skinned as they come. Mad Demon supporter. Gee, Surf did well.
Russell, how did this charity make a big splash?
So Neale Daniher is a very special person. He was a very special person before getting MND, very special in the lives of Melburnians, Victorians, AFL followers. He was a great footballer, played for Essendon. He then became a coach, and he coached the team that I support. And he became known as the Reverend, because he was just such a wonderful sort of spokesperson for our football club. And then, of course, he got MND. Now, getting MND, of course, you're told, you've probably got 2 years at most. And he then discovered that there is, yes, no cure, but there's also no money going into research pretty much anywhere in the world. It's such a niche disease. So he, right from the outset, said, OK, we're going to have to do something about this. We are actually making a difference in the world of MND as a result, because it is substantial money on a global scale. And there are tests that are occurring right now. He has created this thing called FightMND. I mean, it is, it's horrible to use the word brand, but he has created, let's say, a brand. And it is, so when Neale is no longer with us, then you would think that the brand and all of the elements of the brand will be able to be carried on in order to continue to raise lots of money.
First thing I'd say is good on you, Russ, for doing it. In terms of the ad itself, there are a few things. I mean, I really like it. I think it's great. There's a few things I like about it. The first is the use of archetype. So Australians love the battler, the gritty battler, the person who doesn't give up, the underdog, the fighter. And Neale, he exemplifies that. And what the ad, it doesn't play on our pity. What the ad is basically saying is, it's not look at what motor neuron disease does to people. It's saying, look what people with motor neuron disease can do. They can fight. And I really like that about it. The other thing I like about the ad from an advertising perspective is the use of beanies. So they cleverly know that to get people to give, they often want to get. And a beanie is a good transaction. A lot of charity advertising doesn't do that. It kind of leaves you feeling sad or feeling for them, but it doesn't monetize the feeling. And this is designed to get people to raise money so they can make a difference from a science perspective. So I like those two things about the ad.
I really love the campaign. I think Neale is such a powerful part of this campaign. His courage, his selflessness, the goodwill that he's had in his career, and then now fronting this campaign. It's actually what we call moral elevation. So when we see someone acting with a really high virtue, we actually want to emulate that, and it lifts us up into acting rather than guilting us into doing something that we don't really want to do. So that's the first thing in terms of tone that's really important in this. And then the wearables, I think it's a really clear, simple message. There's a really low cost barrier to entry. I think it's $25. And then people become this walking billboard for it. You can humbly brag, you can virtue signal to others, look at me, I've supported this campaign, and you can feel good about it, and other people can feel good for you.
Yeah, I used to work for a not-for-profit organisation focused on rare disease, and fundraising is the hardest part of the job. To take on the big players. So cancer is obviously a really big one, Movember, the ones that people know, you have to really cut through. And there is this habit now in marketing and advertising where people want to go art school on like charity fundraising, and it's like, no, what they've done is consistency, and they're being clever by not being too clever. So they're consistent in the colours. It's blue, it's in the middle of winter, it's an ice challenge, and people wear beanies and socks to rug up. But then also the language they've used as well, I think is great, because they have taken a lot of the sporting imagery and turned it into language as well. So live it forward is this sense of active sportiness to it. We're talking about a disease that is paralysis, and so they've added some activity into what isn't typically a physical moving disease. So they've added movement into that. But also, Neale himself calls it the beast with a capital B. When you're talking to a 6-year-old, trying to explain motor neuron disease is very hard. But then you'll be like, well, Neale's taking on the biggest challenge of his life. He's fighting the beast. Everyone can go like, yeah, I get it. Like, you don't need to know the nuts and bolts. You just need to know that he needs help and that we can help him.